Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of the Sideline Junkies Podcast Network. Also a Clear Productions piece. Uh, it is me. It's the Midnight Rider. Holding down full with my man, Big Guy KG. And as they always do, and they always talk about it, when it comes to this night of all weeks, they say Thursday night. Throwdown. Yeah. So what's going on, big guy? How you feeling today, man?
I love it. I feel great. I feel great, man.
That's what's up, man.
I have no qualms, no issues. I got a couple of questions for you tonight. We got a few things to get into, but we got to pay some bills first. First and foremost, Christmas is around the corner. Please go to www.buy.fortmose.com. Get yourself or the drinker, the smoker in your life, a bourbon, a rye, a whiskey, anything.
And there's a limited time. There's a Caribbean rum that's on sale also for like $39.99. So if you don't like whiskey or bourbon, you get that. But you got to use discount/maniacs in order to get that. All right. So don't forget, it's www.fortmose.com/discount/maniacs.
That's one. Number two, it's also Christmas time. You might be, if you're living on the Eastern Seaboard, you don't know what kind of car you're going to drive. You don't want to walk to work. Put it that way. And you need some wheels. You have to visit Helen Hunt Motors. This show is sponsored by Helen Hunt Motors. You need a car that's going to get you from point A to point B. But your change is strange. Your money's funny. Your credit won't get it. Helen Hunt Motors is where you need to come. I myself am the head sales manager of Helen Hunt Motors. So whatever you need, you come see us. It's only one location, so it's near you. You need a great car, go to Helen Hunt for it. Thank you.
No. Yes, sir. I have nothing to say, man, because you're going to actually start getting phone calls or messages asking about Helen Hunt. I don't see it online. I don't see a website for it.
What you mean going to start? I get phone calls, I get messages, everything. I've had family members say, hey, I need a car. Can you help me out? What kind of cars you be having on your lot? But then when I show them the collection, they ain't too happy. Now we got a hellified collection now. Got a hellified collection. Okay. It's good. It's good.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's not up to your standard, hey, ain't nothing I can do. We do on-the-spot financing as well. So, moving right along. Before we go any further, if you're a prayer warrior, I don't care what your faith is. I don't care if you believe in the universe. I don't care what you believe in. I just need everybody that believes in something, that believes in somebody, come together. And at this holiday time, we, good friend Ross, he's down right now and he's under the weather. Pick him back up as a community. I was telling the Midnight Rider off camera, when it comes to Ross, Scooter, Duval Pole. let me rephrase that. Thanos, Scooter, and Duval Pole. Those three dudes have come into this sanctuary of the Sideline Junkies podcast, and they've killed it each time. Those three dudes have permanent chairs that sit under the table no matter where we're at. I love it. I love what they do. One of our guys is down. They came in and they made themselves family for what they do to what they did on the show, plus also what they do in the group, keeping the conversations going. One of the family is down, so we got to lift them back up. We got to, if you pray, please pray. If you don't, that's fine. Just offer words of encouragement, whatever you got. But just pick the brother back.
And then I know he's monitoring the Sideline Junkies chat. So even if you throw him a message in the chat, and you can't get to him, just throw a message in the chat and he'll see it, man. So let's just make sure we show him some love, some kind of way. Just let him know we're thinking about him. Because that brother's been through a lot, and this is a tough time of year. And especially, let's keep his kids held up too, because they lost moms not too long ago, and then you got dad in a precarious situation. So let's just offer some things up. I don't know if there's any cooks or anything like that. Maybe somebody can offer to take some food by, however we want to do it. But let's get some ideas together and let's talk it up in the chat, KG, and then let's reach out to him to see what we can do.
Most definitely. And speaking of which, you never let me know how that London broil came out. Speaking of cooks,
bruh, let's not even talk about the London broil this week, man.
So
I made the broil. No, I made the broil. I was like, all right, I'm gonna save it for Monday. So I cut a piece off, nice, tender. Only thing I messed up on was when I took everything out of the pan, the pan slipped and I dumped the juice out by accident.
And so there he is. We've been missing this dude in the comments. There he is. Thanos himself has arrived. Ross.
So then Monday came in. My stomach just wasn't stomaching it or whatever it was. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna chill today. Came in Tuesday. My job fed me all day Tuesday. So I had barbecue at lunch, barbecue for dinner. Came back Wednesday, my stomach still wasn't right. So we've been taking drugs all day, trying to get it right. We might try to broil tonight. We might wait till tomorrow. So yeah, like this week I cooked 2 nice meals and I haven't been able to touch them.
You're a true thug in the street. If you cook that on Sunday and it's almost Friday, you get ready to go back for that.
Hey, it's a bit in the fridge, man.
I mean, I'm the same way. I got to sneak and do it, but I'm the same way. Speaking of food,
no. Now Friday's the last day though, because then it goes in the trash can. Saturday morning, we dumping all the containers out. We put the containers in the dishwasher, and we start all over.
Got you. Speaking of food, before we get to this Thursday night game, we got time. April. I need everybody to get together. We're going to meet at a central spot. We're going to take ourselves down to Newburgh, Maryland. I'm going to get y'all some real ribs. Eric Wheeler, you, Ross, everybody that's in the area. We going down Newburgh. We can bring the car because they take the car now. So we going down Newburgh. We're going to get some real ribs. And we might even go over to Cobb Island, find a spot on the water to sit down and eat. But we going down there deep. I'm going to show y'all some real ribs, some real barbecue chicken.
All right, that's what's up.
So that's April. I'll find out the weekend that he opens. The weekend that he opens, we on our way.
Oh, don't forget, I gotta double check with Hill, but I think All In Sports is doing a show live from Today's Pizza up in Northwest off of Georgia Avenue. That's the place with the they got the oxtail pizza, the jerk pizza. I think they got a shrimp pizza and all that stuff. So I gotta figure out, make sure that's still the date, the 30th, and how many people he's trying to have up there. Because yeah,
all right, the 30th of December.
Yep.
Okay, we'll have to talk about that off air.
Yeah. I mean, that's just something I got to throw it out there because I know he's talked about it.
All right, and Ross said that sounds like a plan. That's all I need. We'll matter of fact, when we finish this, I'll make an event. And I'll send it out to everybody in the group.
This dog, you talking? I'm the wrong guy to send an event to.
I know I can remind you. Hey, don't play this weekend.
My son's mother called me one day. Oh, she called me like in September. How many people you got coming to Josh's graduation? What? We ain't even made it to the new year yet. What are you talking about? I don't know. Give me 5. I don't know. Say 5 people. Do I need tickets? What we doing here? So, yeah, man.
Famous line. What we doing here?
There we go. What we doing here? Do I say it that much?
Yes, because every time you say it so much, I'm sitting there and I'm sitting in traffic. Come, what are we doing here? That's what I'm in traffic. I had a contractor today was talking to me. He's like, "Well, I want you to do this. I want you. Hey, what are we doing here?" Like that's how much it's been rubbed off on me. So that's how it is.
Oh man, I gotta go back and listen to that now. Because you said it the other day, and I was like, that sounds familiar.
Exactly. Now, this is that has been your foodie section of the Sideline Junkies, but we're gonna get it right in 2024. Ain't no more putting it off. I say maybe once a month. We find a good spot to hit as a whole, as a group, and just find some good places to eat. Hole in the walls or whatever. Like, excuse me, we might run so deep that they may not be able to accommodate us, but
right,
we can go in there in smaller groups. We'll be all right. But Thursday night football is upon us. Our lines are brought to you by our unofficial line provider and FanDuel. Saints versus Rams in LA at SoFi Stadium. Rams are 4.5-point favorites. Over under is 45.5. Midnight Rider. We normally take the under on these games, but as of last week, we had a 63-21 blowout. Do you think we're going to get something close to that tonight?
So my FanDuel account needs this to be a little electric. It doesn't have to be fully. I still think this is going to hit under. I just don't know if the Saints can pull their weight in this ball game. I like what the Rams are done or are doing with their offense. I think the Rams can get to 24 to 28 points with no problem. The question becomes, can the Saints get to the 20 points we need to get to the over? And I don't believe in that. It's just something when I watch Derek Carr. I think that last season with the Raiders took a lot out of him. And I'm not talking about I'm talking about some of it's physical. I think some of it was mental as well. Because that year with Bisaccia, they dealt with the rug situation. They were dealing with guys cutting guys that were first round draft picks. They just had a lot of stuff going on, and he held that team together. And for McDaniels to come in and kind of just brush him to the side after that, it's a little frustrating. And I think that kind of took a toll on him. The good thing he's got Kamara, but I think the other thing that hurts them right now is Michael Thomas. It just isn't Michael Thomas anymore. And I think he's a guy that's going to have to get cut this all season. And you go in the draft and they take a kid like Michael Neighbors, Keon Coleman, one of these young receivers in the draft, because they'll probably be in the mid-teens based on their record. So I think that's where it's going to end up being. So for this game, the prediction is I'm going to take the Rams in the points, and I'm taking the over. So Rams win, Rams cover, and under the 45.5.
It's crazy you say that because the Saints are the New York Knicks of football. They're not hot, they're not cold, they're lukewarm. They're like right down the middle. They're middle of the road team. And that's not Saints football. The Saints normally can run with the best of them, pass with the best of them, got one of the best defenses normally. If they have to come in and they blow the doors off somebody, that was the thing. It seemed like they've gone back and regressed. Maybe it was Drew Brees, maybe it was Sean Payton that made them what it is, but Kamara is not as explosive as he should be, and Derek Carr should be feeding him out of the backfield quickly. You know, when things break down, drop it to him. When Olave is healthy, oh boy, is a beast. He's a dog. Michael Thomas, I think it's time to go ahead and cut your losses with him because I don't think he'll ever be who he once was. It's like his ankle hurt, his leg hurt, his eyelid hurt. his pinky hurt. It's always something that keeps him out of a game. So, and I'm not knocking him for it. It happens. But I think it's time to cut your losses. Let him go be free, find some other home. But you got to cut your losses and get some receivers and possibly a tight end. But both teams. Go ahead.
As you were saying that, that's the first thing I thought about was trying to figure out who the tight end. The tight end, the combination of Taysom Hill and then the converted wide receiver Johnson. I just think they probably need to go get somebody. I'm just gonna say it now. Whoever our tight end is that's graduating this year, go ahead and call them up because they want to run. Laporta's playing Pro Bowl tight end for the Detroit Lions. He's probably going to set a touchdown record for rookie tight ends. The proof is in the pudding. If you don't know, then you better find out. Do some research. So I think they need to go to. I'm dead serious, big guy. Get you an hour tight end. He's going to block. He's going to be able to catch the ball at the backfield, and he know for a fact he's going to be able to get things done, man. So that's how I see it. Sorry to cut you off, man.
No. And I agree with you. I'm trying to think of the last time. Jimmy Graham was probably the last tight end they had that was really burning people up, and a contract issue was what kept that from going and blossoming into something better.
They had a Jared Cook stretch after that. But I mean, Cook's the guy that he's got all the tools, but he'll play a couple good seasons and he'll disappear, and then he'll come back and get resurrected for a year. So you're about right, man. You're about right.
Okay. Something that was said real quick before I give my pick. I don't know who this guy was. He said Lamar Jackson is a poor version of Taysom Hill because Taysom Hill does everything that Lamar Jackson does better.
I would never listen to that person ever again.
When I tell you, I've seen some dumb takes on sports today. Yesterday was dumb takes on life. Today was dumb takes on sports. Anyway.
Are we touching the Rashad Mendenhall thing?
We could touch that.
Okay.
And we can touch we can touch that now. We can go. I picked the Rams and there's some Rams cover and give me the under. Rams 20, Saints 14. Rashad Mendenhall. Let me get a banner up here.
I mean, we ain't got to spend nothing long on this because I thought this was a crazy statement. I get tired of athletes when they think about people covering the sport, and there's some fans that had the same thought process. They're always like, well, what did you do? What was your career like? And sometimes being able to explain the game, some people are just better at explaining what's going on than actually performing in that thing. That's a little thing called talent. And the fact that he said he's tired of these average white guys, and then we should have a what was it, an all white versus an all black game. And then of course, thanks to the Twitterverse and thanks to the people that do podcasts, one of the podcasts like went into it. They just did the white offense versus the black defense. It was pretty interesting. The white team had a lot of tight ends, a lot of offensive linemen, but their receiving core was terrible. It was like Thielen, Cup.
Oh, we're talking active players.
I guess we're
talking active players.
Yeah, I think he's talking active players. I don't think he was talking. Then that argument becomes even different. And then somebody's called it the Civil War Bowl, and it's just, I mean, I think he did a good job because if he's trying to bring attention to a podcast or something he's covering, he's gonna get some eyes, he's gonna get some ears to see what other takes he has. But I mean, on the other point of this, didn't make sense to me.
I'm gonna say this. We as a people are divided. And a divide is not just one big divide down the middle. We're divided by communities. You know, you have this race and this race, you got them split. Then you go inside of that race, you got splits inside of that race with people on opposite sides. You got so much division, and you would say something like this, sports related, that was stupid as fuck. You need to have your left leg spread out as far as it go, have your right leg spread out as far as it go, and you need to have Justin Tucker kick you in the nuts. Shattered dreams. Go dust. That's the fuck you need for making that dumbass tape. We got enough problems in this country. We don't need to be divided by something like that. And in my personal experience, guys that played the game but weren't stars, but they were the backups and third stringers, they make the best analysts because guess what? They seen the game close up to know straight up, okay, this is what I see. And they sit there and they pick it apart. How long was Romo a backup before he became a starter? Look at the way he breaks down film. Orlovsky. Danny Cannell for a little while, but Danny Cannell makes dumb statements too. But a lot of guys that sat on the bench and watched, when you got basketball players, Mike Brown played in the NBA, but he was not a star. Mike Brown's a damn good coach. You show me a great player that becomes a great analyst or a great coach in any color.
It's few and far between. I mean, like, I think Isaiah was a good coach.
I think he was a great analyst.
I think Bird was a great player, great coach. Then after that, you start having to reach around and find stuff. And like, do you consider Doc Rivers a great player? Clyde Frazier, some of the local guys, stuff like that. But the thing that people don't get is sometimes when you're the backup, you don't have the talent that the other person does. So you have to go that extra step. And that extra step is that extra hour to 2 hours of film study. That extra step is maybe spending that extra hour with the OC or the QB coach because you're trying to understand the concepts and why we run this, because you can't do it with your physical ability. But as long as you know it mentally, you can process it. So that's where I think people make the mistake at.
I just think that right there, he could have kept that to himself.
Totally agree.
He could have kept that to himself. He didn't have to tweet that. That goes into the same.
Ooh, let the dogs out.
Yeah, pretty much. That goes into the same bag as Rob Parker saying RG3 doesn't know how to be a black man. He's a cornball. Put that in that bag. Put that in the bag with what Rashad Mendenhall said. A lot of the stuff that Jason Whitlock has said. Put it in the bag. And I got a lot of other people. It's gonna be a big bag. Put it in the bag. Put it in a tote. Not in the fucking tote. Put it in a treasure chest. Lock that son bitch. Take it out to the middle of the ocean and put it in the fucking ocean and never speak of it again.
All right, let's go.
Moving right along. This is something you wanted to talk about. Help me. Caps rookie Ivan
Mirashin. Hold up. Mirash Nacheko.
Okay.
I've been working on it all day, KG. Sat down. I called the KG beat. No, I'm joking. Yeah. So the reason I brought him up was because this kid, right before he was drafted, was diagnosed with Hodgkin's lymphoma. He was one of the top prospects. He fell to number 11 because of the diagnosis. Last night, he made his Caps debut. He made a couple shots on goal. The Caps did get the win. He didn't get any points. But based on everything I've heard today from the people that I trusted with hockey, he made an impression. He's supposed to be one of the guys that they're going to build around, him and Conor McGregor, in terms of the future and getting this team to a place where they can continue what Ovechkin and company has built up. So I just wanted to just put that story on everybody's plate. Because I mean that's a great feat for him to overcome cancer, and in a year or 2 years time, he's back on the ice playing the sport that he loves, and he's back in the NHL. Now, is he going to stay? I think once the guys like Oshie and everybody comes back, I think they'll send him back down unless he makes himself irreplaceable. So he has a chance. He's going to get playing time. So we'll see how that plays out. Plus, the Caps have won they've gotten points in 4 of their last 6 ball games, and they're tied for the 8th spot, or they have the 8th spot, I should say, in the conference. So they're in the playoff spot. We see how they play it out the rest of the way. Tonight they have Columbus, and I think Columbus is one of the hotter teams because they've scored more goals in this road trip than any team. I think they've got 13 goals on this road trip so far.
I need to really get back into my Caps watching. That's something that I love to do. And I've been off of it this season because I've been so frustrated with sports. Commanders losing. Bulls are shit. Caps are up and down, but they're okay. Wizards are shit. And I just like, you know what? I really don't want to do it to myself. So, I've been turning on the game playing 2K so I can feel good about basketball for a reason. So, but I need to get back into my Caps watching because you said something, I believe it was Tuesday. We were talking about goalies for the Caps. And I said, I realized it. Huh?
Yeah, go ahead.
I realized I don't know any of the goalies on this team. And I know every goalie on the Caps. I know the goalies here in DC. I know the ones in Hershey. Like, I'm a lover of goalies. And people say, well, if you love goalies so much, who's your favorite goalie? I said, I got quite a few. But Olaf Kozik is my favorite goalie of all time. Maybe not the greatest, but Oli the goalie, it's my guy. I love him. Ron Hextall, Patrick Waugh. These are guys that I watched. And I don't know if it's ever happened. I wanted to be the first black goalie in the NHL at one point in time in my life. My mother asked me, she said, you think you can, I said, I don't have to skate, baby. All I got to do is man that net. Ain't nothing getting past me. I said, I don't think I'm flexible enough to get in the butterfly position, but I'll be all right. I'm a goalie lover.
So this year's Darcy Kemper, who they picked up as a free agent from Colorado a year ago, after the Henrik Lundqvist situation. And then they also have a kid, Charlie Lindgren. That's his name. I kept trying to make him Charlie Liebrandt, the crafty lefty for the Rangers, but it's Lindgren, and Lindgren's in goal tonight. And he's actually been playing solid hockey to the point where I think they're going to change up their rotation because I think they're going to be in an alternating situation sometimes, or we get on the weekend, he might get 2 of the 3 as opposed to Kemper getting it. So it's going to be interesting to see how the coach plays this out in the long run.
Here's a question for you. What happened to Holtby? How did Holtby go bad? Like, I thought he was going to be our next good goalie, next great goalie.
You got to remember that the cap came in right around when he wanted to get paid, right after the Stanley Cup.
Mm-hmm.
So what happens is you had to, in hockey, it's not a soft cap. It's not a cap you can manipulate. It's a hard cap. So I think they had to make a choice, and they had to let him go in that scenario. And then they let another goalie go, and he came back. I forgot who that was. But still, it's just one of those situations. And then they have so many goalies. I mean, if you look around hockey right now, a lot of teams have former Caps goalies. There's Varlamov up in New York. Hope's playing somewhere right now. There's guys all across this league. The league is littered with Caps, former Caps goalies. So that's one thing they can produce.
And Ross says Ed Balfour and Curtis Joseph. Cujo.
Yep.
I know Curtis Joseph because of the face mask. Like that's another thing. When that came in, and you start seeing the
The
custom face
artwork.
mask. Oh my god, the one that I wanted something like a big ass mouth opening up, my face being in the joint, and then like it's just so many designs that I had. I was like, they should put that on NHL and let me be a goalie so I can design my own shit. But I got to get back into this to this hockey thing. Oh, speaking of hockey, Ross, when you get better, I have to come see you because I got a book bag and 2 notebooks full of cards. I need you to take a look at. I need you to take a look at and tell me what I got on my hands. I've been meaning to say something to you about it and I forgot because I put my cards away and I try not to take them out. But I got some stuff and I would love for you to take a look at it and tell me what you think. If I got something on my hands or not, or is it just sentimental value? Question of the evening. Got a question of the evening. Now, this is my question to the Midnight Rider. He has not been privy to this question before this moment. I just told him it's NBA, and that's all he knows. We haven't talked about it. Draymond Green. This man has choked Rudy Gobert this year. He punched old boy from what's the name? Like he just hauled off and punched him. Huh?
Jurkic or
Jurkic. He punched him. He suspended.
I think that was more of a slap. I think that was more 5 fingers to the face than a punch.
I don't know. We got to check the videotape, and we gotta see that fist was closed.
But all right, so what's the question? What we
the
doing
question
here?
is, with this indefinite suspension, it's a 2-parter. Number 1, do you think the Warriors move on from him? Number 2, if the Warriors do move on from him, does he even have a place in this league anymore? Does anybody want to put up with his antics anymore?
So question 1 is about him and the Warriors and him staying with the Warriors?
Yes. The question 1 is, do the Warriors move on from him?
I think they have to because it's just the people they have to pay and the young guys that they need to get minutes. Like they need to start figuring out what Kuminga is. And some of the younger guys that they drafted, they just need to start seeing what that's going to be. And then you got to start figuring out who's the next guy because Wiggins has not come back to be anywhere close to what Wiggins used to be. And that's not saying much, but Wiggins used to be able to at least give you 18. I don't know what he's giving you right now. So you got to figure out what his personal situation is. And then you got to think about the cap floor and the cap ceiling and where are they in regards to that luxury tax. So they've got some decisions to make. And I think Draymond becomes a casualty of that scenario because they have to start moving some salaries off of these books. And I think Klay Thompson did them a favor by not taking the 2-year, $48 million extension that they offered him. So because that's out of the window now or out of the way, and they can just walk away from Klay without having to pay him anything, I think they're fine right there in that term of it. The question becomes who's next.
And as far as Wiggins, he's giving you 12 points, 4 rebounds, and 1 assist, 42% from the field. But he was going through something where I think his wife was pregnant and she was having complications with the pregnancy.
There's been a lot of stories, so some of this would be reckless speculation because there was one talk about it not being his kids, multiple plural. It was about.
I know he came out and refuted that, but I think she was having problems during the pregnancy. And that, let me tell you something. When a woman is pregnant with your child, she's having problems with the pregnancy. That right there weighs on you. That weighs on your mental as a father, as a man. So if that was the case, if that is the case, Godspeed. I pray for him, but it's going to take a while to come back from that. That's not something you just get over. You just don't get over that. But I'm fine. So patience is the key. Now, 2-part question. The second part of the question: the Warriors move on from, he becomes a casualty. Who wants to put up with his antics?
Somebody's going to do it. I mean, we're talking about some of these guys that are getting signed and the deals they're getting signed to. Like we would never get that person that money, but they're getting that money. So somebody's going to take a chance on them. Who? I don't know. Like I don't have the magic elixir to think of who would be ready to deal with Draymond, but somebody that's probably on the cusp of being a contender. And they need somebody that just instead of him being a scorer, they just need somebody to help get the basketball moved around and space the floor. And Draymond's good at that. Draymond's a point forward, but he's able to also he's cerebral enough where he can get you to the next play or get you to the easy shot.
Here's a thing.
He's a
I
guy.
think this has been happening. The handwriting's been on the wall for quite some time with Draymond. From he being one of the reasons that KD left Golden State. That comment, and I'm not gonna say I love Draymond. I like him. He's a good dude. But my God, man, telling somebody, hey, we don't need you, dog. Y'all was 72-9. 72-9 ain't 72-10 because 72-10 got a ring to it. But I don't. That was a comment that shouldn't have been made. And Ross says Lakers could LeBron help him. I think LeBron could because as their closeness, but I think he would tear up the chemistry.
No, Ross. No.
It's worth a shot.
No.
Okay.
No.
All right. He's kind of like Patrick Beverley annoys me, right?
Right, but Patrick Beverley doesn't step over the line where it's physical or he does something detrimental to his team.
Right. Now that's my whole point. Patrick Beverley annoys me, but Draymond, he annoys me. He like people say, man, are you scared of him? Like as people, and here's the thing. Somebody brought up a point. They was like, oh, y'all talk about the physicality of the 80s and the 90s. He just bringing it back. Nah. That's not it.
Well, I heard somebody say a better comment. They were like, he's bringing this physicality, but the problem is that no one in this league has stepped up to match him and to put his antics on him. Make him have to, be the person that gets smacked in the face or the guy that gets kicked in the crown jewels.
Here's the thing. I understand how 80s basketball worked. There were no easy layups. So you got clothesline. You couldn't come. It was almost like jail ball. I get it. Now it's like, guys turn out the way and they move and Olay defense and everything like that. But do I want to see people get murdered going to the hole? Nah, man. Like this dude has stepped in people's nuts. He's kicked people in the nuts. He stepped in chests, choked Rudy Gobert. He punched Nurkic. Like you punched your own teammate, dog.
I'm okay with the Gobert choking. I mean,
I think everybody was okay with it. That's why he didn't get suspended for. I think that Adam Silver was like, yeah,
okay,
don't do that.
Right.
Don't do that on TV.
Hey, Draymond, can you don't do that again? Good job. Yeah. So
I still think a lot of people hold a lot of hate for Gobert during the pandemic at that press conference where he rubbed his hands over everything and then he tested positive for COVID and shut the whole league down. Everybody still holds a lot of hatred towards him because of that.
Because he was being reckless and careless.
Yeah, trying to be funny. Like, I just...
What we got next,
KD? Going back to the hockey mask, Ross said Brian Hayward for the Sharks had an open mouth on his mask. Yeah. See, that's another thing I want to get into. I want to get into collecting hockey masks. Now, I don't know where I'm going to put them yet. I might need me a bookcase, but I don't think my wife's going to let me hang that on the wall. She ain't going to let me hang a lot of that stuff on the wall. So, like, I'm waiting on her I need to send her on a vacation alone so I can hang my basketball court where we want it. We got to find the studs in the wall so we can put the basketball court up. Hey, Ben, If we have open gym in this thing, we running whole. You coming?
I'm good, man. I can't
You
even get
good?
I can barely get my arm over my what? I'm gonna be shooting Rick Barry style.
That's fine. See,
No, like how he shoot free throws. That's not gonna be my jumper.
but see, you know what? That's cool because you know what you could do. Me and you could be on teams. You could do that. And I'm coming down off the baseline, just dunking the joints, man. That's why I want a house with high ceilings.
Crazy,
I want a
man.
house with high ceilings because my living room is gonna be nothing but a basketball court, no furniture. I'm just gonna hang my basketball courts.
Yeah, let's see if
She's not. See,
yeah.
she would have been out here, but she on the phone, so she can't hear what I'm saying. So I can talk all the shit that I want.
Okay.
And Ross, I appreciate that. You get well. You let me know when you ready. I'll bring everything up to you, and I'll take we take a look at it. You tell me what I got. You tell me what I got. Hopefully, I got something good. It's time to wrap that shit up, B. Midnight Rider. I'm sitting here. I'm looking over the NBA. Somebody posted something. I was gonna send it to you, but I was like, I'm gonna leave them alone about it. They were talking about the Lakers hanging that banner, and everybody's ripping LeBron over this. And now LeBron never wanted to hang the banner in the first place. And I had to say in a couple comments, you know, the NBA is forcing them to do this, right?
Mm-hmm. And then Eric Fisher came out today and made a comment like, "This is why you don't celebrate championships in season." But I know a guy that said early on that after the tournament was over, the teams that went far, you're going to see some backlash or some repercussions from this because they played with a level of intensity that you don't normally play basketball in November, December with. So there's going to be a letdown. And the Lakers have lost 4 or 5.
They lost to my Bulls last night, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. And it's not because they celebrated the championship. It's because they exert themselves in a way that they wouldn't normally exert themselves this time of year. So that's really what's going on. And yes, the Lakers had to do this, and I'm just mad where they put the banner at because it's right in line with the championship banners, the real ones. So it's like I heard the Sesame Strong, which one of these don't belong, or how the song goes. But yeah, man.
One of these banners is not like the other. Yeah. Oh man. Ross said my parents growing up, we had full court Nerf basketball games. See, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Like story time. I bought where did I go? I went to Anthem Sports. I wanted to find me a good basketball court. I used to have this trash can basketball court back when I was maybe like 13. I bought it. It had a brass rim, and you could actually shoot paper, and you clip it on the trash can. You shoot paper in it. So in my room, I would just shoot paper, and it had a brass rim, a thick plastic backboard, and everything. But if I wanted to put it on the door, I could put it on the door and everything. And I had a little sponge ball with it and everything. So I wanted to find something like that on a bigger scale, and I found one, and it's like 36 inches wide, metal rim. And it's a breakaway rim, so you can, you hold on to it, it bounce back up and everything. Didn't want to hang it on the door. I talked to my brother-in-law, who I called a mad scientist, said, I want to put this on the wall right here. He measured it out. He said, all right, let's see how much ceiling clearance we got. He found the studs in the wall. He put 2 anchors in at the top, 2 anchors at the bottom. We did support on the bottom. He drilled it into the wall for me in our old apartment. We used to have nightly basketball games in the living room. What killed it? Huh?
Go ahead.
What killed it? While the kids were out for the pandemic, they were at home learning. Xavier got caught not once, not twice, but 3 times on camera in a span of like 2 weeks playing basketball in the living room when he was supposed to be in class. So the final straw was him and Akasha were playing one-on-one. He was playing bully ball, and I told her to foul him. She was like, I don't know how. I said, I'll show you. So he tried to play bully ball, and I clotheslined him. I said, clothesline. So she clotheslined him. He got mad. He started bullying her again. So she went to my wife, her mom, Xavier won't let me get the ball. I said, it's make it, take it. She's like, take it down. Xavier cost me my basketball court. So my basketball court has been in the box ever since that day.
That's pretty ugly, man.
New apartment, who this? I got so many good spots. I really want to put it over top of the front door, but I don't think I got enough clearance. So that's fine.
Okay,
but
buddy.
I'm going to figure this out. I got it. And, we good. So that's that. But that's just my story of indoor basketball courts. I've had a basketball court in almost every room that I've had from the time I was 13 until I became an adult. When I had my own apartment, I had a basketball court over my front door. So, you walk in my door, I'm standing behind the door shooting free throws, knocking shit down all day long.
Okay.
That's why I never left the house. But that's just me, man. It's me. It's the love of the game.
Before we get out, don't forget, Embiid's on his streak right now. He's got 30 and 10 in his last 12 ball games. The record is 16 ball games held by one Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. So that's something to keep an eye out for. And I actually think the 16 game that Kareem had it in that season was the 1971-72 season. So KG is sorry going to correct me later on online, but I think that's when it happened. So that's pretty much all I got.
As far as for me, hey man, it's a beautiful, beautiful night. Chill out, relax yourself. Tomorrow's Friday. WrestleManiacs are off Saturday. So 9 times out of 10, you won't see these lovely faces until Sunday morning, Christmas Eve. And then after that, we'll figure out the rest of the week. But until then, that's the Midnight Rider. I'm the big guy, KG. Hey, I'm a dope black dad. We don't do no overtime, y'all. Don't forget to buy Fort Mose. Do something, baby. Put something on them books. Let's go. But we are out of here.